It's been a very, very busy news day today, but one story is standing out. We live in a democracy where it appears some have a greater right to justice than others. Where it appears some have a greater right to be offended than others. If this isn't the case, then what explains, viewers, the selectiveness of rights activists that condemn the actions of one community more than the other? Or even state governments who apply the law in their states in a manner that suggests bias, prejudice. Now, without wasting much time, let's go case by case. First stop, viewers, is Bengal. Here, a cleric associated with the political wing of the NI-designated radical group, the PFI, spewed venom against the Hindu community in an attempt to incite passions. But despite 72 hours passing, the cleric hasn't been arrested. Instead, viewers, that young girl in the corner of your screens, top left, this young woman called Ashwini, who was protesting the riots. Yes, protesting the riots, has been jailed. After she was jailed, her house was vandalized. The hypocrisy is writ large. Yes, viewers, in Bengal, the cleric who said things that we have had to bleep out because they were so vile against the Hindu community is still at large. It's been 3 days. But a young woman, barely a woman, viewers, she's just a girl who said that it is wrong to riot. And those who are rioting are doing a disservice to this country and should be deported, thrown out. She's in jail. She's also been victimized. Her family has been threatened and her home has been vandalized. Now first listen to this cleric who has shocked the nation. Viewers, listen to what he's saying in this speech. Listen precisely to the words, some of which we have had to extricate. Listen.
যেদিন 2014 27 মে নরেন্দ্র মোদী পার্লামেন্টে শপথ নিয়েছিল, সেই দিন 2014 বলেছিলাম, अगर तू ही फिरौन है, अगर तू ही फिरौन है तो जान लो मूसा भी जरूर आएगा। পুরা দুনিয়া যুগে যুগে যখনই নবীর দুশমনরা জিন্দা হয়েছে, তখনই মহান আল্লাহ তাআলা ওইকে শাস্তি দেওয়ার জন্য একজন মার্দে মুজাহিদ, একজন নবীকে পৃথিবীর বুকে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছে।
Because this man is still free, but the young woman to the bottom of your screens is in jail. She's locked up. Ashwini posted on social media protesting the violence. That's her crime. Her father is shattered. He doesn't quite know what to do, what to say. Their home has been attacked and vandalized. Their meager savings, possessions, viewers, have been looted from them. Hear this.
ওই মেয়ে একটা পোস্ট করেছিল, তাই তো? হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, পোস্টটা করেছিল যে যাদের ভালো লাগবে দেশে তারা থাকতে পারে, না হলে দেশ ছেড়ে চলে যেতে পারে। এইটাকে নিয়ে মানে এখানকার মুসলিমরা মানে অশান্তি দাঙ্গা টাইপের করেছিল। থানা ভাঙচুর, বাড়িঘর ভাঙচুর। এবং মেয়ের অ্যারেস্ট চাই। অ্যারেস্ট করানো হয়েছিল, তার সত্ত্বেও তারা পরবর্তী ভাঙচুর, থানা এবং বাড়িঘর এসব করে।
No action taken, viewers. That's the disparity. In Jharkhand, let's go to the next example. In Jharkhand, 10,000 people surrounded a Hanuman temple. Those are the pictures. The mob moved towards the temple in a bid to overrun it. An FIR is filed that alleges that 60 to 80 rounds were fired by the mob at the police. But the Congress, which is part of the state government, refuses to accept the case filed by its own police, even denying the desecration of the temples despite clear video evidence of it. Duplicity? Viewers, this is brazenness. The next story. The hypocrisy is no different in Uttar Pradesh. Here the state administration has bulldozed the property of alleged masterminds of the violence in Kanpur. The bulldozing has happened in Prayagraj, but a section of the political class and civil society has slammed the Yogi government for applying the law in its entirety. Now, viewers, they say that this is a case of Islamophobia, that Muslims have been targeted, ignoring the fact that bulldozers have been used in just the recent past also against Hindu transgressors of the law. To invoke identity, religion, to play the religion card is to divide the country. In Maharashtra, the mismatch is glaring. A young man who was thrashed by reactionaries for no other crime than taking on the rioters has been arrested. But a member of parliament of the MIM, Imtiaz Jalil, who exhorted his audience to hang Nupur Sharma, is still free. Yes, viewers, he's still free. But that young boy who tried to drill some sense into the members of his own community is there folding his hands and begging for his life. They beat him, they thrashed him, and he is being killed for spreading hate. He was almost lynched. And the MIM MP, Imtiaz Jalil, who stood amongst his supporters and implored them to hang Nupur Sharma at that very spot in Aurangabad, in the Chowk, is still free, viewers. This is the country we live in. What's behind this duplicity over dangas, over riots? Basic question. That's the hashtag. Let's open this up. Let's go straight across to our panel. I'm going to, first of all, bring in Subhui Khan and Lokesh Jindal and Riju Dutta, spokesperson of the TMC, into this conversation. Mr. Riju Dutta, can you explain why a cleric for 72 hours is on the run? We're even been told that there's no FIR against him. Last checked. Why is he still on the run? And why is this young woman, who's barely an adult, why is she in jail? What kind of justice, lopsided justice is this? What's going on, sir? Let's show you those pictures. Please, let's look at the pictures from Bengal of this young woman who's behind a prison door. That's what people are going to remember her by, viewers. Why is this the case, sir?
Okay, thank you, Rahul. Now, last 3 days, India is burning, blood is spilt. 2 young boys lost their lives in Ranchi. A lot of violence and properties have been looted. Arson happened all over the country. Why, after 3 days, Nupur Sharma is still not arrested? Why BJP is giving her protection? Why Narendra Modi, Amit Shah is still following her on Twitter? Why? These are also questions that needs to be asked. First of all, I, on your channel, appeal for peace. Now, coming to the cleric, that fellow is condemnable and that fellow should be behind bars, no question asked. But there is a rule of law and law must be followed.
Right.
We don't just randomly go and bulldoze people because, you know, in this country there is still something called courts and adalats and vakils and all this is there. Now, when you start showing this picture, why don't you also show the picture which happened today? Mohammad Fahim and Nisar Ahmed arrested by Delhi police for holding poster against Nupur Sharma. Why are those pictures are not here? One spokesperson of a BJP, a national spokesperson of a BJP, who later was branded as fringe element, yes, suspended pending inquiry, has made a defamatory remark against the prophet. She is still not arrested. The country had to apologize to 60 nations for oil or whatever reason whatsoever. When the Prime Minister gets up in the morning and sends a happy birthday or happy anniversary message to foreign delegates, has not said a single word about the current situation in the country. Why are we not asking those questions? And suddenly we flip everything. See, a rioter is a rioter who will be booked under the strictest arm of the law. We have arrested 200 people. 50 of them are put behind bars with the strongest possible cases of riot. But my question is this. When it all started with that person and riot and arrests are happening, even in Saharanpur, 18 people are arrested for Facebook posts where 12 are Hindus and 6 are Muslims. I'm still saying that also. But why is that person, जिसके लिए पूरा बखेड़ा खड़ा हुआ, उसको अभी तक arrest क्यों नहीं किया गया? क्यों? Why? Why? Please answer me that.
Okay, so I don't know if you know, but at least 4 state governments have filed cases, including Maharashtra, including, one second, the Bengal government. Haven't you moved to arrest Nupur Sharma? You have arrested.
We have already summoned her.
Have already summoned her.
So
good.
One more question.
So then, 1 minute. Riju Dutta, let me speak. No, let me speak. First of all, I just want to make it very clear, viewers, that Nupur Sharma, if she has been booked, she must appear before the authorities. They must do what the law allows them to do.
Can I ask you now?
No, 1 second. Sir, I haven't finished.
Yeah,
you asked a series of
please.
questions, you know, through your 2.5, 3 minute answers. So let me just point out a few things. So you said that we are only following due process. Of course, you must follow due process. It's very important to follow due process. And we also don't endorse bulldozers running left, right, and center, knocking down people's homes without any purpose. Neither do I believe, and let me be very honest with you, neither do I believe that bulldozers should be sent after the state administration declares somebody guilty. That's for the courts to decide. In India, we still have courts deciding on people's guilt. So I am no bulldozer, fanatic. So let me just make that very clear for you. But this is not about me, per se. This is about a state government in charge of law and order. Now, you said we are following due process. Yes, sir, you are following due process. My question is very selectively. A young woman who's a soft target is in jail. The more difficult person, who is obviously an influential member of his society, a cleric who can influence people, is still at large. That's the disparity. And the only reason I'm asking you this question, sir, is because this question has also been asked of you, prompted of you by the High Court, the Calcutta High Court in the past. Do you know in which case, sir? In the Bengal post-poll violence cases, where, sir, you were asked a very specific question. Why is the SIT that is appointed by you not, in fact, working in the manner that it should be? Because when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to actually going after those that are influential, you have been found wanting, and these are not just this particular case. I can give you a few more instances.
Can I get 10 seconds, please?
You can take 3 minutes. Answer the questions.
Okay. Oh, yes, I'm answering the questions. Now, you said that why we are following due process. Let me also remind your viewers, one Mr. Avinash Das, a normal journalist, a small-time journalist from Gujarat, was put behind bars and still behind bars because he shared a picture of Pooja Singhal with Amit Shah. Why is that? Number one. Second, Tejinder Bagga was arrested. There was court at 12 o'clock in the night, and he was relieved from transit remand when he was brought to Delhi. At that time, the law and the court acted in a blink of an eye. What is happening with Nupur Sharma? Again, I'm saying these atrocious defamatory remarks has divided the country based on religious lines. Why is now she is being protected? Please answer these questions.
Okay, Mr. Riju Dutta, you still have an answer. Look, Riju Dutta Saab, two wrongs don't make a right. If the courts, no, 1 second. If the courts were opened at 2 in the morning for, what's his name, Bagga, they were also opened for, a couple of terrorists in the past. Look, the courts will function as they have to function. I am not saying that. The Gujarat government may or may not have arrested, may have arrested, may not have arrested. Delhi may have. What are you doing? Law and order is your bread and butter, sir. It comes under your state government. Why don't you answer about you?
Thank you. You said law and order is a state subject. Thank you. This started, violence happened in one district out of 21 districts.
It doesn't matter. Violence is violence, sir. It spreads.
Yes,
Crack down, arrest the man, arrest. Do you have any reason not to arrest the cleric? You've arrested a young girl, but not a cleric. Can you just answer the disparity?
No, first of all, that young girl is brainwashed like the Frankenstein.
It doesn't matter, sir. What do you think the cleric is? Do you think he's not brainwashed?
Go to another country, किसी का बाप का देश नहीं है ये.
It doesn't matter, sir. Even if she's a BJP diehard supporter, even if she's a BJP diehard supporter, are you going to lock up BJP diehard supporters in your state?
No, it is not about
So then
BJP
what are you arguing against? Jawad DJ. No, Dr. Datta, you're a very reasonable and an intelligent man. You're a very reasonable and an extremely intelligent man. Dr. Datta, let's not, we debated earlier. Now I know there's a bit of whataboutery here. It's okay. I understand. It comes across. It comes across as a state government. Okay, it's a state government that is coming across as being tardy in one case and extreme active in the other. This is a fact. Now you can blame the BJP for doing exactly what you're doing. Dr. Datta, why should I have to file an FIR, sir? You run the state government. You have a police that can act suo motu. Main kaun hu, sir? I have to protect myself against the FIRs that you have filed against me. I mean,
right,
come on. Okay, it's a fact. Let me open this up. Yeah. I mean, I have to get my own lawyers to fight my own case. It's all public knowledge. You know this. I mean, are you wanting me to put my head? Are you wanting me to put my head on the block?
Rahul,
okay, anyone who asks you a question is immediately booked, sir. Now what am I supposed to do? You want me to put my head again in the lion's mouth or the lioness's mouth? Sir, please spare me. I'm a hardworking man of letters who writes articles, etc. You have put so many cases against me, against my poor reporter Tamal in the past. Please, sir, spare us.
But Tamal, let me tell you, Tamal is our favorite now in Bengal.
Yeah, of course he is, sir. I know. Sushil Pandit, would you like to come in? Subui Khan, would you like to come in? I might be wrong, I see standards being applied selectively. Sushil Pandit. Okay, I think you're on mute, Sushil Pandit. You're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, and namaskar to all your co-panelists and viewers. I'm surprised that you are surprised at what is happening in Bengal. Not too long ago, in this very state, the CBI team which had gone there to only interrogate, question, engage in a conversation, a police officer, that team was detained. And nothing happened to the state government. In this very state, the Home Minister's chopper was not allowed to land, who had gone there to campaign for his election rallies. Another fellow Chief Minister, his route was blocked. He had to circumvent and come through other means. So this state has time and again shown that the administration is a law unto itself. They are arbitrary, they are vindictive, and very often, more often than not, complicit with organized crime when loot and mayhem happens against the hapless citizens of its own state, when post-election reprisals happen. I've seen videos where defenseless citizens fall at the feet of governor, beseech him not to leave because they don't know what will happen to them just because they complained to him. They cried in front of him. So I wonder what the center wants to do with this state? What provisions do they want to invoke against this lawlessness, where not just ordinary citizens, but public representatives are terrified? Terrified into leaving their parties.
Riju Dutta,
from their posts.
quick response.
Yes.
I want to open this up and focus on some other states also. Yes, Riju Dutta.
Quick response. Yes, quick response. Every time people talk about post-poll violence. Now, post-poll violence, there was an NHRC team that came to Bengal. 3 members of that team, Atif Rashid, ex-BJP Delhi president and BJP candidate, Rejaul Desai, BJP Mahila Morcha chief, and Arun Mishra, ex-judge who tweeted visionary Modi. This was the team of NHRC that came to investigate post-poll violence, number one. If everything is so hunky-dory in BJP and BJP is doing nothing bad, why in such a sensitive topic, and which is about the BJP spokesperson and her comments, BJP does not have a representative on your channel? And third, I know Mr. Pandit from other debates also. I just want to ask him, is he satisfied with how the center is treating Kashmir right now, after they have used Kashmiri people as props and propaganda? So before pointing at Bengal, please look what the center is doing in Kashmir.
Yeah, of course.
May I come back here?
Yes.
Rahul, we have seen in the last 8 to 10 minutes, every time there is a question asked about Bengal, the apologist of the government and the party runs to either Gujarat or to Kashmir or to UP or to wherever else their Hakuna Matata is, but does not answer the questions vis-a-vis Bengal, which means, and we can therefore conclude that all that is implied in the questions that you ask and that I ask is conceded as truth. And since there is no explanation and no reasonable fact or data given to satisfy the answers to those questions,
that time is
established.
Let me just say, gentlemen, 1 second. Let me just say, times now stand on Cleric spewing hate has been very consistent. I went after the central administration in Jammu and Kashmir for not jailing instantly the Badharwa cleric. I have tweeted several times, and finally he was taken into custody yesterday, a full 4 days after he committed the outrageous sin of wanting to attack Hindus, denigrate their faith, as well as, of course, take matters into his own hands and advocate extrajudicial punishments for Nupur Sharma. So just put it out there, viewers. I'm not seeing the issue of clerics inciting violence through any political prism or lens. For me, anyone inciting violence, whether it's Yati, Narsinhanand or whatever else it is, should be in jail. If they're not in jail, there's a problem. And I will continue to ask those questions. Mr. Datta may choose not to answer them, might focus on other states, that's his prerogative, but my prerogative is to ask the question. Okay, let me open this up. Let's open this up. There are more people here. Lokesh Jindal, Sajid Supariwala, of course, Ratan Sharjah and Subui Khan. Let's focus for a few moments on what is happening in Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, viewers, and I just want to show you those pictures there. You can see them on your screens. Temples are desecrated in large-scale rioting that takes place on Friday, post-press. Yet the Congress today is coming out and pretending nothing has happened. And I can play out that soundbite. I think we have it, Nizam Bhai, the soundbite. We will play it in just a few seconds. But viewers, let me tell you, the Congress in Jharkhand has this to say, and I want you to listen. Denying anything has ever happened. Listen to this.
जी सांप्रदायिक घटनाएं क्योंकि लगातार झारखंड में रिपोर्ट की गई हैं, पहले भी की गई है, लोअर दग्गा में भी इस तरह की घटना सामने आई और अब तो आपके राजधानी के अंदर होती है इस तरह की घटना। टाइम्स नाउ लगातार दिखा रहा है 3 मंदिरों पर हमला किया गया, डेलिबरेटली अटेम्प्ट ऑफ इन्वोकिंग रॉइट्स था वो सर, क्योंकि सीसीटीवी फुटेजेस सामने आए हैं, मंदिरों पर हमला होता है, घरों पर हमला होता है, सरकार क्यों जिम्मेदारी नहीं लेती है? और
ये हम कैसे मान लें कि आपने फुटेज जो बना दिया वही सही है? किसने हमला किया है?
पुलिस ने एफआईआर भी रजिस्टर कर दी है सर।
एफआईआर रजिस्टर कर दिया, किसी को पकड़ा है क्या?
पुलिस In the state of Jharkhand, viewers, Jharkhand is ruled by Congress and JMM, their alliance partners. They file an FIR. This gentleman, who is the state chief of the Congress unit there, says, FIR se kya hota hai? Any arrests? He says, CCTV footage aapka hai. Viewers, CCTV footage, the CCTV camera is not run by anybody. It just focuses on a spot and captures what it sees. The police have extracted this footage and they are showing it. In this particular case, viewers, you are seeing mobile footage. But there are also CCTV footage. So I want to ask Mr. Jindal, why is it so embarrassing? Why is the police embarrassing you in your own state? Badla kyun le rahe hain aapse by incriminating the rioters and saying they have attacked temples? Why are they doing this to you, sir? Rahul Gandhi unko pasand nahi hai kya? Mr. Jindal.
ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है राहुल, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है.
Then why, Mr. Jindal, are you doubting your own police?
It is maintaining. No, it is just an FIR. Let the investigation take place.
No, so you mean to say your police just files FIRs against the minority community and shoots at them? No, I'm asking you, Lokesh Jindal, does your police that reports to you and Jharkhand government, well, listen to me, they just file FIRs randomly, like they do in Uttar Pradesh, you will say. Next. Randomly sab chalta hai aapke states mein.
So you want the police not to observe the due process of law and file an FIR and directly go with the bulldozer.
That you don't trust your own police. They are saying
now the
that
police
certain
is
people have
bound to
done
act
something.
in a manner that it has to.
But Lokesh Jindal, then why are you doubting your own police? Why do you say what difference does an FIR
let the
make?
police investigate.
They have
We are never
investigated and on
doubting
the
the
basis
police.
of a plain.
The police is doing its job.
No, Mr.
And I must
Jindal,
congratulate the police over here
Mr. Jindal,
that it is doing its job diligently.
Okay, so then why?
Yes.
Then why is your state chief denying that temples have been desecrated, that the CCTV footage that the police is relying upon is not to be trusted, and most importantly, that they've only filed an FIR, it doesn't mean anything, they haven't arrested anybody. Why haven't they arrested anybody? Have they been told to stand down?
He's absolutely right.
Ah, okay. He's right.
What he has said is that the claim that there is a Hindu-Muslim divide, there is a communal divide, there is a communal tension, is something that is false. That is being claimed by the state chief.
False. So ghosts were running around.
The state chief has simply stated
how do you respond to
kind
Lokesh
of Hindu-Muslim divide that is taking place in the BJP-ruled state,
there is no Hindu-Muslim divide here. There was no rioting in Ranchi. No one was killed. Those bodies that were found of those two people, they just dropped out of the skies.
What I'm saying is...
well, sir, that's really shocking. Should I show you the real pictures? Let's pull out more pictures. Not just this temple attack. Let's pull out more pictures of the rioting that actually took place in Ranchi. Look at those pictures, viewers. People running in thousands, if not lakhs, onto the streets. 8 cops seriously injured. I will play you a clip of a cop who's whimpering and saying, they are attacking us. I will play that out. But Ratan Sharda, how do you respond to Lokesh Jindal, who is in disbelief, who can't believe that the police has fired an FIR based on the truth, which they have been obviously trying to obscure?
Rahul, it's very sad to see that secularism in our country has remained one-eyed, one-eared, with a twisted tongue. This negationism is not new to Congress. They negated 1920 Mopla riots. They negated direct action. They negated the communal riots from 1921 to 24 and also the partition riots. They have removed from the history most of the things which happened during the partition. Now they are denying even this. How horrible can this be? That and in fact, people are appreciating that Jharkhand police are strict. But today suddenly it seems that Congress High Command told them to go slow. So this kind of one-eyed secularism is the main reason, the main problem. We keep on talking about Nupur Sharma. Has anybody of them, all these great secular person condemned the 12 days of horrible abuse and ridicule of Hindu gods and Hindus when this shivling was found in Gyanvyapi? Not at all. They condemn the MIMM MP saying that hang Nupur Sharma openly. Did they criticize the effigy of Nupur Sharma hanging on the trees? And he says 3 days in Bengal. My dear friend, in all other states, the riots were controlled within a day. In Bengal, police was not to be seen. Pictures, the police standing at the back, relaxed, as if they are watching him tamasha. And you have arrested a girl. When Disha Ravi was arrested, Mamata Banerjee gave a statement that it is unfair. Today you find a girl being arrested. You talk of FIR. Why was the FIR given to the girl? And this particular Taqir Raza or whoever it is, he called for another protest march on the next Friday. So this is nothing but a continuous effort to create unrest, create
The
violence.
Congress today stands between the truth in such a blatant manner that it will even deny now the whimpers of this police person.
Let me reply
Jindal
to
Sahab,
what Mr. Shanta has said.
You respond once.
Let me just reply, please.
Jindal Sahab, give me 30 seconds. You will respond. 1 second.
Give me 30 seconds, then you can respond.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes.
Ram Rahim case. He was a rapist. But all these liberals very happy. And fires were opened. Innocent supporters were killed. His followers were killed. And he was put into jail very happily. There was no case of innocents being killed by the fire. Today they say, oh, कानून का रास्ता है. This fellow, the mad fellow who talks about obscene things about all this, he has a right to protect himself. Others don't have.
Okay.
Nupur Sharma doesn't have.
On
Nobody
Ram Rahim,
has.
viewers, on Ram Rahim, pretty much every political party did business with him. Let me just put that out there. And also the courts recently gave him parole.
Everybody was happy.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree with you. 1 minute. I just want to bring out very clearly the proof, viewers. Those are the pictures of violence, large-scale violence. Now, just listen to this whimpering policeman who clearly has been asked to stand down. And he's taking it bravely. Just listen to this.
देखिए देखिए पत्थर चला रहा देखिए आप इधर आ जाइए छिप जाइए सर पत्थर चल रहा है सर हमको कवर में लगा मेरा मोबाइल टूट गया सर जल्दी से सर देखिए अभी पत्थर चला रहा था सर फोर्स भेज दीजिए
He's whimpering. He says, send us the force. And Jindal says, there's been no communal rioting there. Mr. Jindal, what's wrong with you?
Rahul, can you please play Nupur Sharma's video also? The speech that she spewed.
Rahul, can I come in?
So, put her in jail.
Please, can you also play that video?
Throw her into jail. Who's stopping you?
No, the point is,
Maharashtra
let
filed
me just
cases.
answer.
No, hang on.
The point is,
no, 1 minute. What nonsense is this? 1 second. Sajid Supariwala is there with the Shiv Sena. He's raising his hand very high. You have filed a case against Nupur Sharma. Good. I'm glad, sir, that you have done so. Why haven't you filed a case against MIM MP, Mr. Imtiaz Jalil? Till I last checked 2 hours ago, there was no case against him. He's not even been arrested. Usko to bulaya bhi nahi. Kyun? Supariwala Saab, Shiv Sena now has some.
Am I audible to you?
Yes,
I want
please.
to tell you something.
Mr. Supariwala, go ahead. Answer
why has all this happened? It is only because of the foolish statement. It is only because of the foolish and irresponsible statement of Nupur Sharma that this all has taken place.
Right.
I've been watching your show since I have been quiet, watching you have been questioning everybody. This is not a very small thing. This is the question of the Prophet of Islam, who not only the Muslims admire and respect, but also the non-Muslims do. And this is not a very small thing. It amounts to blasphemy. And secondly,
I'm asking you a straight question.
Of that,
you know,
no,
Nupur Sharma
let me tell you one thing.
BJP.
I'm coming to a point.
No,
I want
I'm
to clear.
about duplicity.
I want to clear. This
Duplicity.
This is not the punishment. 1 second. No, I am coming to that
punish
point.
karo na.
Let
You
me
have filed a
explain
case.
myself. I'm
Duplicity.
coming to that point. I want to. There is something very important which I am going to tell you right now.
Please.
If you do not want to listen to it, then don't ask me a question. If you're asking me a question, please let me speak.
Tell us.
There is a book called The 100.
I can't.
The ranking of the most influential persons in history. It has been written by Michael Hart, who is in USA, a very, very respected author. And that book was published in 1978 which was again reprinted in 1992 with revisions, it states that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, means peace be upon him, is one of the most influential person in history. So not only the Muslims, but the Christians, but the Hindus, my Hindu brothers, my Christian brothers, my Buddhist brothers, who all are read about him, secured themselves with the education and knowing what they are talking about. When you are talking about a personality, definitely you have to be very responsible. Even Uddhav Sahib, my Sahib, said in the last speech in Aurangabad that any insult to any god, goddesses of the Hindus, as well as the Prophet of the Islam, of the Muslims, will not be permitted. If somebody
Rahul,
says something wrong, punishment should be done, action should be taken. Because of that Nupur Sharma and because of BJP, today our country has been ridiculed, has been
now Supariwala,
in the Gulf.
Supariwala,
who will be answerable to that?
Okay, Mr. Supariwala, your entire...
Internationally, my country has been put... 1 minute. Internationally, my country has been humiliated. What is your reply to that? You are talking about certain incident
can you please
in
allow
some
me?
place.
I'll just let
what
you
you
in.
are talking about. Law should not be taken
Mr.
in hand.
Supariwala,
But the Constitution,
Mr. Supariwala,
the Constitution allows you to protest.
Mr. Supariwala,
the Constitution allows you to protest. Why shouldn't anybody protest?
Okay.
And why are we going?
So 1 minute now. Now viewers, Supariwala says you are allowed to protest. So MIM MP Jalil. MIM MP Jalil lower his fader because he'll just keep ramrodding this debate. I've lowered your fader, Supariwala. Now relax, calm down, take a sip of water. Now viewers, so MIM MP, what we are hearing from Supariwala is the following. He's allowed to say, hang Nupur Sharma in the square, hang her, he has a right to protest, no problems. Is that what you're saying, Supariwala?
Coming to that, can I come back?
Yes. I'm asking you.
Yeah, I am not praising anybody, Mr. Imtiaz Jalil.
Denounce him.
It is my personal opinion.
Denounce
that
him.
Nupur Sharma should be punished. Harshest punishment should be given.
Harshest.
1 minute. 1 minute.
So you are agreeing. You are agreeing with MIM MP. You are agreeing with MIM MP when he said hang her from the square.
I'm saying harshest. I'm saying
now viewers,
1 minute.
Now viewers,
have
let
I
me
said
ask
those
you.
words? I'm saying harshest punishment.
Great.
Means whatever is in the 1 minute. Means whatever is is allowed in this case.
Yeah, beheader you are saying. Are you saying beheader also?
Lawfully punish her.
You are saying sartan se juda?
No, I did not say.
What is the permission?
1 minute. I did not say hang or behead.
Okay.
I said the harshest punishment, she should be taken action against, so that it sets an example that no other person can insult any god, goddess or anybody's prophet.
Okay, so Supariwala, let me ask you then. Let me ask you this question. There are 3 questions you need to answer each one of them. Number 1. So you agree when Imtiaz Jalil asks for extrajudicial punishment, which is not prescribed by the law under which Nupur Sharma has been booked, that is an incitement to violence against her. 1. Number 2, do you believe, and this is a question I want to ask you since you have referred to your Sahab, Uddhav Thackeray, do you think Aurangabad should be called Sambhaji Nagar? And number 3, sir, the Congress, your alliance partner, the NCP, in the past have said that Veer Savarkar was an Islamophobe. Do you believe that the Shiv Sena's demand to give him the Bharat Ratna is a valid one or not? 3 questions, sir. Answers from you. Keep them short.
I will answer your first question. I did not say non-judiciary. I said whatever is allowed and whatever is the punishment should be taken. The harshest punishment which could be given should be given. So it sets an example that no other person can insult any god or goddess or anybody's prophet to hurt any religious sentiment.
So Imtiaz Jalil, who has asked for extrajudicial punishment, should he be punished, yes or no? Imtiaz Jalil, should he be punished, yes or no?
1 minute. What I have not yet seen Imtiaz Jalil's statement or heard about it.
It doesn't matter. You will not see it. You're blind to it.
When I see
Second question. Second question, the answer.
No, I have not seen it.
Okay, second question, the answer. Do you want Aurangabad also, do you support it to be named Sambhaji Nagar?
This is a very relative question which you have asked me.
It's an exact
question.
question.
This is something which the higher authorities can say, because I'm not an authority
your
on
higher
that.
authority
I'm not an authority on that.
Supariwala, you have an opinion on everything, but not on this issue.
Let me complete.
Number 3, do you believe that Veer Savarkar...
this opinion also I'm coming.
Who did not have anything nice to say?
I want to ask you, I want to answer your... 1 minute.
Answer.
I want to answer your second question. Please let me answer it.
Please.
I have not completed.
Answer.
Just taking 1 minute of that.
Answer.
See, there has been so many cities' name has been changed, renamed in UP by Mr. Yogi. So this, what you are talking about, will be taken, the decision will be taken by the higher authorities. Yogi has already changed, so many people have already changed name in their states and cities.
You know,
so
sir,
whatever is
by
here
not responding
is not
to my statement,
my prerogative or
by
my
not
opinion or my
responding
authority.
to my statement and giving your point of view, you are exposing yourself as an opportunist. Third, let me ask you, simple question. Don't get provoked by me. Don't get provoked. Number 3, third question. The third question is an important one, and I asked you this because you said that anyone who speaks ill of our faith or who holds us in contempt should be punished. Now, Mr. Veer Savarkar didn't have very pleasant things to say about the Islamic tradition.
No, 1 minute, let me
So I want to ask
I did not say my religion, I said every religion.
Every religion, fair enough. Every religion.
Not my religion, I said any religion.
Including yours, I presume.
Every religion.
Including yours, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Mr. Veer Savarkar didn't have very pleasant things to say about your faith in particular. So I want to ask you, do you think the Shiv Sena should continue its demand to honor him with a Bharat Ratna?
I think this question is very irrelevant for today. Because you are asking me about Nupur Sharma's case.
I'll tell you why, viewers, it's a very relevant question. I'll tell you why.
You are asking a very irrelevant question.
Okay, that's
right
okay.
now.
Fair enough. It's a relevant question because I want to expose Mr. Supariwala as an individual who is selective. It's okay for him. It's okay for him to rail against Nupur Sharma. It appeals to his base. But he has a problem.
It is not about being selective,
it's okay,
my dear brother.
It's okay.
Mr. Rahul,
my brother would be more honest.
1
minute, Supariwala Sahab.
It is irrelevant, totally irrelevant.
No, it's not. I'll tell you. Allow me to speak. Mr. Supariwala, I beg you, allow me to speak. You see, viewers, it's very important. It's very, very important to understand what is happening. MIM just offered support in the Rajya Sabha elections to the Shiv Sena. They just did. OAC said we will support the Shiv Sena. And who is the MIM MP? He's OAC's MP, Imtiaz Jalil, who's not been arrested for advocating public execution of Nupur Sharma. While a young boy in the state of Maharashtra, that boy Ansari, while that boy Ansari has been thrashed and put in jail. That's what I'm trying to tell you, viewers. This person selectively only focuses on political aspects which favor him.
He was supporting
I've established that. I want to bring in Subui Khan. Yes, Subui Khan, please go ahead.
Blaspheming Islam and
Subui Khan. Subui Khan. No one supports anyone insulting a religion. Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Sajid, you are not the only Muslim in the panel. Let others speak. Rahul, first of all, I want to say with full responsibility that all these happenings are not for protecting the honor of Prophet. Unfortunately, when these people failed in Muslim appeasement politics, now they are trying to just politicize Prophet's name. Just like Nupur Sharma, even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also they're trying to even make the Prophet the scapegoat in the entire scenario. I will ask a few questions from this man, Mr. Sajid. If you really think that this is happening, okay, please don't cut in between. Let me finish. Rahul, don't argue like this. I was not well today.
You are blaming me with something which is not right.
I'm asking you a few questions. Please answer. I have few questions for you.
You can go
if
ahead.
You are fighting for the honor of Prophet, why don't you fight against people who are running terrorist organizations like Jaish-e-Muhammad in the name of Prophet? You have no anger on those people. Why don't you fight when Muslim women are used as sexual commodity in the name of halala? Don't you think that Prophet is defamed by such practices? Why don't you run these protests against Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Taliban, Hizbullah? Why don't you raise your voices then? Why don't you raise your voices when Muslim youth, Muslim young kids are being radicalized, when they are made separatist, extremists and terrorists? That is real Gustakh-e-Rasool. That is real dishonor in the name of Prophet. Nupur just said something out of outrage. FIR has also been registered against us. She has issued a written apology, suspended from the party, and you are just trying to politicize the entire issue. अगर गुस्ताखे रसूल करना है तो जाकर उन लोगों के खिलाफ करिए जिन्होंने हदीस लिखे हैं। भारत ने नहीं लिखा है, बीजेपी आरएसएस ने नहीं लिखा है, नुपुर शर्मा ने नहीं लिखा है, कोई ईरान, इराक, अरब, टर्की ने लिखा है।
Response. I want to move on. Response, Supariwala. Mr. Supariwala, respond, please. Yes, and then we'll move on, viewers. Yeah.
Can I respond to it?
Yes, please.
Can I respond to it? First of all, any terrorist doesn't have a religion. He is not a Muslim who's a terrorist. First, let me tell you that. Let me clear.
Oh my God, please do. I don't want to
जिहाद
listen
जब
to
होता
these
था, आज हमारे नफ्स से हमारे जिहाद है. 1 minute. Let me continue now. If you're asking me question, if you do not agree, tell me you do not agree. But let me speak.
रसूल की बेअदबी भी करते
Let me
हैं.
at least finish. Let me at least speak.
Do you have
Miss
guts?
Khan,
Let me at least speak. Let me see. No. Let me say no. This is not the right way, man.
Supariwala, Mr. Supariwala, speak.
I am not disagreeing to everything you are saying.
Yes, Supariwala, go ahead. Make your point. Yes.
Okay. The thing is, I condemn anybody who's utilizing young minds, be it ISIS or any such things.
Okay.
I think you have not seen our protests earlier.
Yes.
I am not only a Muslim, but I'm a responsible Muslim.
Okay.
I'm a responsible party, and I do not honor or do not like people who brainwash youngsters to go for all these trainings. ISIS has been condemned by me and my community, viewers, and many others.
We need to go deeper on this. Thank you very much. Good point. No, 1 second, Mr. Khan, good point. And Mr. Supariwala, good point. The point is not that, viewers. The point is about selective action against those people that you think are politically useful for you and those people who you don't think are politically useful for you. We were trying to get at that. I don't want to get into a deeper debate about whether Muslims in general favor the Al-Qaeda or not. That is for another debate, another time. But viewers, I'll move on.